Today I'm going to tell you why this Lamzu Atlantis is the most surprising mouse of 2022. One thing that has really plagued the newer mouse companies is the build quality. They lack that certain it factor that the big dogs have, obviously due to manpower and the bigger companies having more money that the smaller guys don't. Well, the Atlantis seems to transcend all of this from top to bottom. The mouse feels like it could be from one of these bigger companies. From the box design, that is better than anything Razer or Logitech has ever done in my opinion. It's got a 55-gram shell that's fully enclosed on the top and a sexy translucent bottom with etching that Poseidon himself would be proud of. Now this is the best implementation of a cutout bottom ever because it goes with the whole Atlantis theme. It's very nicely done. The coating on the mouse is spectacular, doesn't feel cheap or slippery, again separating it from the pack. Even where the DPI button and the indicator sit on the bottom feels like it's all part of this theme, and it's very, very beautiful. You know me, I'm all about those aesthetics. Even the USB-C para cable and the dongle that they give you feel premium. This is the best paracord that I've probably ever tried on a mouse. It's got that nice upward angle at the USB-C connector port. It's not the fact that they've done this, but they've done it so well where other companies have failed. It doesn't give you that pushback like some other charging mouse cords. It comes with PTFE feet, but they also give you a set of glass feet, something that I was asking Pulsar to do. Now I think this is only for the first batch or so, but I really hope that they do keep this moving forward and include it with all their mice. Now when you press against the side, there is no actuation of the buttons. Like, look at that. That was just me clicking it. That was a false positive. Look at that. It's great, it's great. The fact that they've got this down to 55 grams without it feeling cheap or feeling like they've compromised somewhere is truly a feat. That should be commended. So I gotta give you a round of applause, Lamzu, because what you've done here with the build quality of this mouse is truly exceptional, especially for a new company starting out. Now the switches aren't Kale 8.0 switches, but instead these Huanu blue pink dot switches, and man, these might be my favorite switches now, especially the way that Lamzu has implemented them on this Atlantis. They're so responsive, they're crispy, combined with the shell of the mouse 1 and 2, very tactile anywhere on the button, meaning if you press here or if you press here, it just feels about the same. Sometimes on other mice, it gets a little tougher towards the top, which it does a little bit here, but it's more than usable, where some other mice aren't as usable. The side buttons are light and crispy. They feel a little bit off and don't feel even, but that's only something that Razer has really accomplished. The side buttons have a little bit of post travel to them, and I actually find it quite enjoyable when I was using it. It's using a TTC gold encoder. The scroll wheel is on the lighter side and has a good amount of tactility. Let's drop a sound test so you can hear what the Lamzu Atlantis sounds like. Alright, so next up, let's talk about this magnificent shape. Now it's similar to the XM1 with that diamond back. Now when I first got it in my hand, I actually thought it was smaller than the XM1, but it actually turns out that it's 1 millimeter longer. The reason for this is that it's not as wide as the XM1, and the XM1 feels like you're holding a softball, where the Atlantis feels like you're holding a normal baseball. Also not as flat, and the hump fills out more of your hand near the middle of your palm. Since it's not as wide, I feel like this can work for small and medium hands and hands that are on the lower end of the larger side, if that makes sense. Like medium large. I did mention that it does have that diamond back shape. It flares out near the back, which naturally curves to your palm. So like this right here, and this, like it works. You take that diamond here, put it here, It's like magic. And then the flaring also gives a lot of control. Since your pinky and thumb sit on the hips here, gives you some nice control for claw grip. Another mouse that came out recently that's kind of comparable is the X2, but they feel like two completely different mice in the hand. The X2 has more of a rounded back with less flaring near the sides. Of the two, I find the Atlantis feels quite a bit better in the hand to me if I was going to go claw grip. If I was going to do fingertip grip, I would use the X2. Compared to the Starlight is just a better all-arounder for switching around your grip style due to its safer shape. That brings us to our next topic, the grip styles. To sum it up, it's one of the best claw grip mice that you can buy. Point blank period. The shape is great. Fingertip grip does feel a little bit awkward on the hips, even though you can do it. The hips get in the way of you controlling the mouse and fingertip grip. In that case, I'd skip over this mouse for a safer shape like a Starlight, Superlight, or like an MZ1 if you're doing a fingertip grip. Straight up palm grip is a little bit hard because of the hump near the back. Shoot your fingers over the top. It's less prevalent on this mouse, but it is there slightly. It makes you do more of a relaxed palm claw type of grip. At the end of the day, like I said, if you're a claw grip user, then you need to try this mouse. It's insanely good for that grip. I'd say it's S tier for claw grip. It's using a 3395 sensor rated at 70 hours of battery life, which is okay. I would have loved to have seen something closer to 100 hours to really separate this mouse from the field, but as it stands, 70 hours is plenty. That's just me being greedy. Now, between the shape, the accurate sensor, and the great side buttons, this mouse was a real treat to use. The 55 grams is so well balanced that it makes other mice I thought were well balanced, like the Superlight, feel kind of unbalanced. The mouse just disappears in your hand, and that's what you want when you buy a new mouse. So for all these reasons, that is why the Lamzu Atlantis is the most surprising mouse of 2022, especially coming from an unknown manufacturer in Lamzu. If this is how they start, they've really hit the ground running at Usain Bolt speed. All right, so we've been doing a rating system lately of mice. I'm gonna throw up the rating system right now on the screen for y'all. For the Lamzu Atlantis, we're gonna go with a score of 9.0, no, let's make it 9.1. All right, this is definitely in the top 5, but where I'm gonna take some more time with it before I make that decision, so stay tuned because we will have another top 5 video shortly, so make sure you are subscribed. All right guys, it has been your boy BT. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.